Blessings, creators. So we're all creators because each and every one of us, in a way, is at the center point of our own universe, in which the law of attraction, the law of assumption, is working at the level of our vibration. So really, as I've been diving over the years into metaphysics and really how to make this practical in the everyday, I've been really questioning, what is the nature of consciousness? What is the nature of the self? And as we become more aware of our predominant vibration, our certain kind of like your baseline vibration where you overall vibrate, is just a way of talking about a amalgamation or a collection of our overall emotional states. And so as we become more aware of our vibration throughout our life, throughout our day, we're able to become more aware of how our emotions and our thoughts, our feelings, are affecting and creating the states of consciousness that we're abiding in. And how this is so key in understanding that any state of consciousness has a certain reality that is reflected around it. So as you learn to persist using the law of assumption, using the law of attraction, learning these practical metaphysics and these principles of consciousness, you start to become more aware of your state of consciousness, of what state of being am I in right now. And you're able to persist in tuning your vibration or your frequency like a radio dial to the station of source. And you could call source God or consciousness, but source is the station that we tune to that is the source of creation itself. It's where the inspiration lay. So in a way, it is our natural state. So as you learn to persist, regardless of the 3D, regardless of the sense evidence that is going on in your reality, right? That is really what the key of faith is. And it's not even just so much like you're trying to practice the assumption. Take out that word trying, because this is what I'm learning is you want it to be natural. You want it to be natural for yourself to be living in the place where you are at one with your desires and enjoying the process of them becoming. And this is the thing here in the realm of manifestation and in the realm of incarnation, is that there's a time delay between our desires and them coming into fulfillment. So if we're not feeling happy or we're feeling unfulfilled, it's not because of what's going on outside. That's the old condition. A really powerful mindset shift that I've been applying recently is, rather than trying to get myself to believe, is instead, when I'm at that point, when the doubt is coming up and all of these thoughts that I'm trying to bridge past, instead I'm going and I'm just saying, oh, this has no intrinsic meaning in and of itself. And I look at it, I'm like, oh, well, that's the old self, right? And I'm like, this means that this is an opportunity for me to become the new self, or this means that I'm the new self. This means that I am wealthy. This means that I am happy. This means that I am healthy. A powerful affirmation that I've been working with is, I am perfect, powerful, whole, and complete. I am healthy, wealthy, happy, and harmonious. And when you use what's going on in your external reality, as instead of reacting to it and creating the same emotional chemistry, that you are instead choosing to redefine the meaning and become aware of the emotional state, become aware of the emotional state and where it's coming up in your body. And this will train a type of vibrational awareness moment to moment to moment, asking yourself at any point throughout your day, if you're going into reactivity, or if you're simply just being mindful of your state, asking yourself, what state of consciousness am I in right now? And this is something that I found has been really powerful in just bringing my awareness into the moment and becoming aware of what state of consciousness am I in right now. Because once you're aware of what kind of state that you're in, you're aware that, oh man, I'm in a bad mood. Like yesterday, I was in a bad mood. So I started becoming aware of my vibration. I started becoming aware of that. And I started to pivot myself. And it was a busy day. I had things to take care of. And I started reframing certain situations that you could say it was like be frustrating to be in. And I started reframing them as a blessing. And instead of it being an adversity, I turned it into a blessing. For example, I came back from Flagstaff, which is a nearby town, and I was driving back late at night and my tire popped, but the tire popped like right at the perfect place where I could pull off into this beautiful view on the side of the road. And I thought to myself, well, this also must be happening for a good reason. The the AAA came pretty quickly, and then it ended up that I ended up manifesting 2 tires for a really, really low price, and I needed 2 tires anyways. The back tire was really worn out, and then I ended up getting 2 tires. And in the process, I ended up like manifesting money right when I needed it. I went and I did a side hustle, and then I came back and everything worked out. And I even manifested a car to rent at a really reasonable price right where I'm staying, and just everything lined up. But had I gone into that place of reactivity, and it did come up a few times of just like, oh, why is this happening? But I kept reframing it into, this is working out for me. Nothing bad is happening to me. Everything is working out in my favor. Everything is working out for the best case scenario. And what that does is that you're still feeling what's coming up, but you're using it as an opportunity. You're forward facing, and you're looking and you're saying, this means that there are opportunities and new doors opening for me. Now, recently, I watched an episode of Rewired by Joe Dispenza, and he was going into the mind and the heart connection, the brain and the heart connection, and that when we're in a state of incoherence, right, what it creates is it creates a kind of distorted field where we're in a pattern of stress in our nervous system, and it's releasing the hormones of stress, like cortisol. And when we're able to, and it puts us into a place of fight or flight, right? And it's almost like if you don't fight or run or freeze, what happens is as you practice meditation, you bring your awareness into the moment, is that it kind of like thaws those emotional patterns, and you're no longer in the stress response. You're in the emotional feeling states of feeling good. You're feeling relaxed. Your heart is open. And I've been doing these daily meditations of going into the heart and basically connecting my brain and my heart and getting to a state of coherence and clearing and blessing the energy centers. And I feel this is really complementary to the other stuff, the manifestation stuff, the law of assumption things as well, because I find that this practice of going within and clearing each of your energy centers or chakras and grounding into the present moment and opening your heart. So what happens with the heart is that I noticed today is that when I was going, I could feel those feelings of stress. You can feel it almost like distorts, like ripples on a water. It's like it's almost like static in a connection. But when you form that connection between the heart, and you could even say the third eye or your crown, it's like an antenna that goes up. So when you form that coherence between the head and the heart, what happens is it harmonizes your field. Remember that we have an electromagnetic field around our bodies, and that our body is vibrating at a certain frequency. This puts us in tune with that reality in the time space, in the field of consciousness. And that as I was going in and I was feeling that harmonization, I was like, oh, this is harmonizing my frequency. And then it connected me to source, where I start streaming in inspirations. And I realized that this is what meditation does. This is why meditation is transformation, because your awareness is the conduit like when you plug an appliance, it's not the appliance, it's not working. Oh, well, you haven't plugged it in. So when you plug it into source, now your awareness is a conduit for transformation. And it all happens through your awareness. It's like The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard is really powerful as well. It goes in and talks about how we are conditionless beings. So the I am has been known throughout many ancient traditions, as well as the Hindus called it the Om, right? And the I am it's almost like you look at these words and they carry a certain frequency, and the different ways that these words have evolved through different languages, and yet there's still a similar there's the same frequency underneath it. So the I am consciousness, that's a little tangent, but the I am consciousness is the unconditioned consciousness, right? So when you go in and you meditate on the I am presence, you become unconditional. And that's where these practices of meditation, as well as harmonizing and getting to a state of coherence, right? Meditating on the space, meditating on the feeling states in your body. And this is also what I teach in my intuitive coaching as well. And I've seen this have such powerful transformation in my life and in other people and in clients that I've shared this with, because what it does is that when you become more unconditional in your state of consciousness, it puts you into a state of receptivity. Because what happens is when you're identifying as all these different states, like if you're in the state of scarcity, right? It's like there's a story of the I am around that, or the I have around that. I don't have enough, or that I am not capable of doing this, or I am poor, or any of these, whatever you attach after the I am becomes the conditioned consciousness. So rather than trying to force yourself through affirmations, going into the state of meditation where you clear your consciousness. And another powerful practice that I've been using for clearing is imagining that you have a magic eraser, right? And this magic eraser in your imagination, you take it and you wipe the lens of your perception with this magic eraser made of light. Here, try it right now. So imagine that you're clearing away all the old subconscious impressions, everything, all the previous memories of the previous scene. You're just wiping them away. Taking a deep breath into the heart, and now create a scene real quick of a few images of what it is that you want to create, or the state of being you want to be in: happy, healthy, wealthy, and love. If you see yourself being in love, see yourself happy. I'll bring it here to the present moment again. See, what that does real quick is it cleanses your perception and allows you to refocus your frame. And then when you do that, it puts you into a different flow state, because we're always in different flows of energy, and it's moving along our unfoldment. And what I've been finding as I've been doing that is that it helps me to shift even as I'm going about the day. So remember that as you become more unconditional, this is the idea of expanding your consciousness or becoming more limitless, is that you're clearing the perceptions. This is as well as integration practices, right? Integrating your emotions, feeling your emotions. Because the state of incoherence is a state of disintegration. That's what creates dis-ease. And then it leads to these energy patterns in our energy field that eventually create illness or create the issues of scarcity, but they originate within our states of being. Whatever state of being you're in, as within, so without. So as you become more aware of your energy patterns, you're becoming aware of the flow of working with your energy, moment to moment to moment. So you don't have to just wait, just sitting there and meditating and all. You can step into it. And when you start to get into a state of coherence, it integrates your energy. That's why the feeling is the magic, it's the secret, it's the healing, it's the elixir of faith, as Napoleon Hill called it. The faith is not trying to get yourself to believe so much as synchronizing with Source. It's synchronizing with the knowing that it's already happening, that it's already done. So if you're in a state of anxiety, This is something I've been learning from Psychocybernetics, which I've been read about 3/4 of the book in the past couple days to really help dial in my mindset. And he goes more into the automatic mechanisms of the subconscious and saying that we have an automatic failure mechanism and an automatic success mechanism. And that when you start to learn how to speak with your own subconscious, you're able to start to become aware of these stories and these programs. So when it comes to psychocybernetics and what I've been researching with that, is that if you're in a state of anxiety, that's really the invitation for more trust. And that when we start to introduce more trust and more relaxation into our nervous system, this also relates to the coherence, is that it starts to put us into a more harmonized state, where we're more at harmony. And often what we're looking for in say for money is that we're looking for a state of peace, right? We're looking for a state of expansion or freedom. And that often what holds the money away from us is that we're trying to find it outside of ourselves. So in having the trust in the moment, what it's doing is it relaxes our nervous system so we're not in that fight or flight, and instead we're in a state of relaxation. We're in a state of receptivity. And when we're in that state, we're in a state of trusting the flow of universal intelligence, which allows us to also tune our antenna, where we're now receiving the guidance and the inspirations from source consciousness, which is practical, right? This is practical metaphysics because it applies that now the next step, the door opens. And now you're more magnetic to the money because you're not trying to get the money to be at peace. You're being at peace, which is attractive to what you think you will get in the money because you're going to the end. So the more that you're able to tune in and the more that you're able to trust more deeply in spirit, in your path, in your calling, the more that the cooperative components of the universe are going to come into your experience. So thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you guys want to get a coaching session with me, you can check that out in the link below. And also I've got the Frame to Flow course, which helps you to focus your energetic frame, get more consistently into the flow state. And also I am creating a program and also multiple programs. One that is going to be coming out soon, which is about creative consciousness and becoming aware of our vibration. Now, for the most immediate, this is not a necessity. This is why I create all these videos. But if you want it and you can afford it, you can get a coaching call with me. That is the fastest way for me to channel intuitive guidance, bring through, share whatever information and that you would need in the immediate, that you can check those out in the link below. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to the channel. Make sure to hit that thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. I will see you on the next one. Peace.